Okay. Don't want to mess with it too much because I don't want it to fall down. Okay. I think we are ready. Just going to light some more sage. Okay, everything seems to be working, so that's cool. All right, let's just get into it. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel and to another live stream. This is High Priestess Demari speaking as always. I am so sorry for the delay. I was literally on time. Everything was organized. I was getting ready, you know, I was getting all my tasks done and my work done beforehand. And I was like, okay, I'm going to be on time today. I'm going to be on time today. And that did not happen. I was actually much later than I intended to be. So I'm sorry about that. But it's something I'm going to keep working on, my timing. But anyway, thank you so much for your patience. I do appreciate it. But here we are, another live stream. One of the last, actually, before the end of the year. Not the last, but one of the last. And I can't believe that it's already, you know, the second week of December. It's insane to me how fast time has been going. But there we are. So, wow, what an amazing year, huh? Yeah, there's a lot that's coming up energetically. There's a lot of updates that I've been wanting to bring. So I've been giving them as and when they come along, and I have the time to do so. So I'm quite glad that you guys actually chose this, because of course, this week you had a choice as to what the theme of the read was going to be, the theme of the discussion. And of course, you guys chose divine intervention. So here we are, and that's what we're going to be discussing this week. And that's exactly what's been going on, divine intervention. Yes, on multiple levels, not just in terms of dealing with things karmically, but just, you know, in terms of how things are now going to unfold for the collective overall, what's happening in terms of things that are happening in the universe, okay, that might be worth noting as well. You know, we've had some very interesting cosmic events. I know they keep putting some warnings out there for certain more destructive cosmic events, but I don't feel like that's something we need to be too concerned with right now, at least. But it's just interesting how all these things are happening, not just, you know, in terms of in our individual lives, in terms of what's happening in our individual countries on a global scale, but also there's stuff happening in the universe all the time that we don't even think about, right? So there's a lot at play, and especially this time, December, end of the year, okay, end of an era, the end of the year that signifies the number 7 going into the year that signifies the number 8, right? Yeah, very, very powerful time for spiritual growth, spiritual changes, evolution, right? And I feel like that's what this year's been about for us. So there were situations where the divine literally took a back seat entirely. And it wasn't as a means of punishment. It wasn't as a means of neglect or ignorance or anything like that. It was simply because it was part of our learning. It was part of our evolution. It was part of the experience. There were certain things we had to learn how to navigate, right? The support was always going to be there. It wasn't like they weren't paying attention. They were. It was just a case of, you know, it was time to take off the training wheels, put it that way. So a lot of us experienced situations where it seemed on a surface level that we had to face them entirely alone. We had to problem solve by ourselves, right? We had to be alert and switched on and aware enough to spot the signs, right? To avoid certain pitfalls, to avoid making certain mistakes, to avoid certain situations, okay, that would not be of our highest good or possibly even put us at risk in some shape or form, right? And so it was a bit hairy at times, you know. I know that's the case for many of us this year, right? That there were situations where we really had to, you know, show what we were made of, you know, what we've learned, what we've acquired as knowledge, experience, wisdom, expertise, utilizing our skill set, right? All of these things. And I feel like that's what we did. A lot of us did that. And so, because we were able to demonstrate our own capabilities, right? Not constantly relying on the divine to bail us out of a, bind, or to be the one to fight our battles on our behalf all the time, because we were able to demonstrate that we can step up, that we can take the initiative, that we can lead. That's why we're getting that huge boost in morale, huge boost in support, okay? It's like the divine is almost like coming in at the most crucial moment and just doing this. That's kind of like the energy I get, where it's like, you did so well, I'm so proud of you, like a proud parent. It's like, say for example, it's sports day, right, at school, and you've been training for this one race. You're like, I'm so ready for it, I want to win this race, right? And your parents can't run the race for you, right? You have to run the race, you had to do the training. They could support you, but you had to be the one to do it, right? So, it's like the gun goes off, or like the bell goes off, and then you're running or you're doing whatever race it is, and it's like, it's tiring, it's hard work, okay? You may be feeling like, oh, I'm getting left behind, but then in the last moment, you make it to the finish line, right? Whether you're the first one or the last one, it doesn't matter. You made it. And that was the point. And regardless of you, being first place or last place, you just get that big warm hug, like, you did so well. I told you could do it. I'm so proud of you, It's that kind of energy. It's not about whether you were the first one to do it or not. It's the fact that you did it and you got there. That's the point, right? And that's where the divine's at currently. It's like they're becoming like more forward now. They're making their presence more known, in very obvious ways, right? To say, I'm so proud of how far you've come. I'm so proud that you were able to get through this hurdle, to pass this test, right? You are now ready and prepared for what it is that you asked for. You are now ready and prepared for the next phase, the next level, right? And so it's not that you're going to run the same race anymore. No, you're going to the championships now, right? It's like that. You did tryouts, you essentially were successful at tryouts. Now you're getting into the big leagues, right? It's that kind of energy. So honestly, like, it's a case of, it's really important, as I said, in the December reading, and also in the last, like the December live, and also the previous live I did, that you use the next few weeks not only to rest, not only to, essentially tap yourself on the back and be proud of how far you've come, but also to prepare for what's coming next, because that's going to be really important, right? Because the next phase, it doesn't mean it gets easier. There's certain trials, there's certain battles that you won't have to fight again, but the stakes are higher, right? Things are expanding in such a way in your life. You're being given opportunities that you didn't even think were possible in the past. So it's like, now you've got to account for doors that you hadn't factored in the beginning. You understand? So it's like, there's a lot that you have to take on board, right? There's a lot that you have to bear in mind, especially if you do want to keep elevating, if you want to see these big, profound changes in your life on a 3D level. Now it's a case of, you have to account for that. You have to account for these possibilities. Yeah. And I think that's where some of like the sort of uneasy undercurrent is coming in for some of the collective, because it's like, whoa, I didn't even think this was possible, or I didn't even think that this was an option for me. Never mind, the divine is actually giving me the keys to the door, right? So it's like, you're having to account for something that you didn't account for in the past, right? So I think, there can be a little bit of nervousness, anticipation, anxiety, and I really feel that, right? That's what's coming through very strongly at this time, because it's not a case of waiting on the sidelines anymore. It's a case of, oh my gosh, it's here. Am I ready? That's kind of the energy. Like, I feel it. It's coming in. I'm getting all the signs. I know it's literally on my doorstep. I can do this. It's that type of energy. That's what I'm getting from you guys. So it's very interesting. It's a very, very interesting time, but it's also a time for appreciation, gratitude, celebration, togetherness, warmth, happiness. Yeah, because I'm telling you, it was a hard won battle to get to this point, right? It really was. So the fact you're even watching right now, the fact you can even say, yeah, my life is starting to look different. Yeah, I do feel differently. Yeah, I'm not in the same place that I was in a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, right? Like, that's a lot to, that's a lot to say for, right? Like, that's something to be proud of. The fact that you can see how far you've come when you think back on your journey and everything that has changed, how much you've changed, how much you've evolved. And the fact that, essentially in ways where perhaps you wouldn't have even allowed yourself to dream the dreams that you have now, or you would have self-sabotaged, or you would allow other people to, talk doubt into your mind, or wherever you felt like, the doors were just constantly being closed in your face. Now that you can see that that's starting to change, I mean, that's something to celebrate for sure, right? So that's like the main energy, where the divine is really coming forward to say, hey, I saw everything you did. I'm proud of you. It's literally like that. Um, because yeah, I think for a while there, the divine really wanted to see how we were going to play our hands, what we're going to do faced with certain situations, And so obviously a lot of you guys did the right thing, and that's why these changes are happening, and they're happening quickly. The energy has gained so much momentum that it's going to just start happening one after another. Yeah, so you'll be surprised, the way certain things unfold. It may catch you off guard. That's why you're being like forewarned, okay? So you don't just freak out when it happens, pretty much. Yeah, so that's like the main arching theme at the moment, but we're going to get into it in more detail in just a moment. So just want to see your comments. Hi, Hot Mess. Nice to see you. Lovely to see you. Andrew Beryl, hi there. I hope you guys are doing well. If you are watching, feel free to say hi, drop a comment in the chat. I do like to read them and interact with you guys. It's exciting. Yeah, it really is. It's a really exciting time. So much is happening. It's like almost buzzing, And I feel like a lot of you guys are not just like being in this energy of like, okay, certain options are going to become available to me. It's a case of you already feel like it's time to get certain ideas down, get pen to paper, get your plans sort of mapped out as to what you want to accomplish in the next year. Because like I said, it's like once things really start to take off, you're going to have to like be on top of it. It's that kind of energy. So now is a really good time to solidify your plans for the coming year, right? Even if they change, they deviate, or you have to like rejiggle them, that's fine, okay? That's going to likely happen, okay? Because there's going to be other things that come in that you can't account for, right, in the given moment. But the main idea is that you have a general sense of where it is that you're aiming for, what it is you're aiming for, where it is that you're headed, right? What is the objective? What is the goal? What is the focus? What is the priority? And it doesn't have to always be about like work goals, financial goals, right? Career goals. I'm not talking about that on a basic level like that. It can be absolutely anything. Whatever your priority is right now, center your goals around that. You can have additional goals that are separate to that as well, like smaller goals, other goals as well. That's fine. But make sure that you do outline one fundamental thing that you are striving for next year. Because I'm telling you, a lot of you, I keep seeing the magician energy so strong, like literally the magician card. Like you are in the driver's seat, you have the keys, right? Because you've done the work, you've been literally being handed the keys. So it's up to you now to decide, where are we going? You're in the driver's seat. Where are you taking us? It's that kind of energy. So it's really important to have that clear in your mind now. Yeah, because I'm telling you, doors are opening. Some of them are already open. So it's up to you which path you want to take, right? And how it is you plan to get there. So, whew, it's really interesting. It's really exciting as well. It's like last night I had last night I had such trouble sleeping because I had all these ideas like, yeah, I want to do this, I want to do that. Oh, that would be a good idea. And that was it. My brain was just on a tangent, you know. It was like, okay, I do actually need to sleep now. Can we do this tomorrow? And my brain was like, no, we're going to think about everything right now. You know, it was literally that. I'm like, great. So it's one of those nights, you know. But at the same time, it's exciting, you know, because it's like instead of feeling like we're being squished into like a little box that we don't belong in, it's like having the universe expand for us and say, okay, you have your freedom, you have your space. What are you going to do with it? It's like, oh, okay. You know, it's literally like that. So it's pretty cool. Yeah. Alignment keeps coming through from spirit this week. Absolutely. Alignment is really key. That was actually one of the cards that came up in last week's live reading as well. That was a very core energy of the reading, I would say. I love that. We have the keys. Absolutely, we do have the keys. We have the keys. We're in the driver's seat. Where are we going? That's the question, you know? So it's, and like I said, like the magician energy is so potent right now. That's why we're seeing like really big cycles closing, huge ones beginning. We're seeing like certain energies finally starting to stabilize. We're seeing karmic situations finally being wrapped up. I mean, it's insane, you know, how everything's seeming to happen all in tandem, all at the right time, you know. So like I say, the universe knows what it's doing. The divine know what they're doing. It's just a case of trusting the process, trusting the journey, you know. So it's happening. I'm telling you, it is happening. Right. So that was the main message. I am going to get into the actual reading. Just prepare my cards, give them a quick little additional shuffle. Ooh. The Angelarium's obviously wanting to speak. Okay. So we'll see what's coming through from that when it comes to the divine. Yeah. So let's get the key messages. So what is it that the divine wants to communicate to the collective at this time? Given all that we've discussed and these key energies that are coming through, what is it that the divine wants to communicate? Any guidance, wisdom, insights, support, anything the divine wants to give us to help us at this time? Oh, this is gorgeous. So we have the great gathering. It's all coming together. Intuitive hints, soul tribe. Yes, exactly. That's the thing, right? This is like the collective, the soul tribe, and the divine all convening, right, in the astral, thinking about where we're headed next, where we want to take things, right? Because you remember I was saying about how, you know, new sense of community is coming together. Like for those who did watch the last two lives, if you haven't watched it, I urge you to watch it, okay? Because those two are very significant and it will help you understand these energies that are unfolding and what's coming up. But yeah, this is literally it. It's like communities coming together, teamwork, think groups, right? Coming together to problem solve, to think about where it is we're taking humanity. What is the next level, obvious level in our consciousness, right? The next level of evolution for our, you know, for our collective consciousness. How do we want to expand? How do we want to bring a sense of togetherness when the enemy's been doing absolutely everything to ensure that there's like a fracture in that sense of community? Yeah. How do we bring the collective back unified and whole as one? That's the goal, because you've got to remember that's always been the goal. For Source, that has always been the goal, to bring everything back together as one. So, I love that that's the first energy. Yeah. So tell me more. Oh my gosh. It's just amazing. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Like it's actually insane, the cards that are coming out. Council of Light, divine orchestration, help us in the subtle realms. I feel like they're just confirming everything we've been talking about. This is the Council of Light. This is literally divine presence, you know. made up from the highest planes to those closest to us, our spirit guides, right? All coming together, discussing what's happening with the collective consciousness, what's happening with the community, what's happening with the planet, the human race as a whole, right? How they can best support us, how can they best lead us, how can they best bring light in those darkest of places, how they can activate us further, right? How they can touch the heart and souls of those who need it most, right? How they can, help to establish a bridge between here and there, between us and themselves. And that's the thing. They are ready to break through any kind of barriers that enemies try to set to stop us from having direct access to this frequency, because that's been the main objective, right? It's not that they can completely sever our connection. So what do? They try and make it more difficult to receive those messages, to connect, right? By blocking those portals, by disrupting the energetic flow around ley lines and sacred sites, right? Mess with our own DNA, mess with our own mental states, right? Our health on every level. But the divine is also doing what they can to help us. So a lot of people have been going through DNA upgrades as well as a result of that. Yeah. And I feel like the divine has been doing that like group by group. It's not that they intend to only do that for, a set few of people, like a set group of people or a few people. No, they plan to do this for every single living being on this earth. So they've been literally tackling it group by group, right? Depending on where they're at. Some people need more work than others. Let's put it that way. And not everyone is open to that energy, right? They can't force anyone. But if someone is open to it or is asking for some kind of healing, some kind of help, right? Looking to connect, then they'll be able to receive this healing frequency. They'll be able to receive this this DNA upgrade, right? So we are literally going through a transformation on every level. Yeah. Wow, this is like insane, crazy, intense. That's what I was gonna say, but in the best way possible. Like, I just can't believe like the cards that have been coming up recently. It's so gorgeous. I want one more from this deck. Love the graphics on that card. Yeah, it's so beautiful, isn't it? Let me just show you guys again. It's just so beautiful. That sense of like divine community and unity, right? Yeah, I love that. I love it so much. And how that light is filtering down from the top to the bottom. Yeah, it's so nice. I love it. Anyway, I used to love using this deck a lot, and I was thinking, like, I haven't used this for a while, and I feel like it's time to bust it out again. Yeah. Wow. Okay, there's a few cards here, but I will show you the bottom of the deck, right? Hang on, let me tackle these ones first that are in my hand. So I was saying about transformation, right? You see this, how this card is split, right? These cards have been split in my hand. So transformation, things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing. Exactly what I was talking about. The DNA upgrades, right? You see how they're just confirming back to back to back to back everything I've been saying. The DNA level healing, transformation, right? On a cellular level. That's what's happening as we speak. And they're literally doing it group by group by group, right? The card is here. You can literally read it if you can see it, right? Sorry, I know that's a bit bright. But it literally says it here. DNA healing, right? Yes, by the divine. Then we have, right? And remember what you just said, right? Hot mess. You're tapping into a larger message here, right? And it is obviously very significant for you as well. You literally just said, this year I learned to drop my barriers and the growth has been awesome, right? And we have here, birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. Boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? Okay. So it's about finding that balance between being open enough to create and knowing where to place healthy boundaries, right? Knowing where your boundaries should be, knowing who is trying to push against those healthy boundaries, right? Or what isn't serving you to be in your energetic field. But having the confidence in self and in the divine and in source and your guides enough to be open to the possibilities, to have an open auric field so that you can receive the divine inspiration, so you can receive divine support, and so that you can co-create with the divine. So this is confirmation. So everything you've been doing to redefine your boundaries, you know, where perhaps you've been too guarded in some situations and not guarded enough in others, right? And where you have been less open in certain situations and need to be more open to the possibilities, that's what's coming into full focus right now. And the thing is, you know, as you're going through this evolution, right, as beings who are very much focused on this path, you're going to be one of the first to exhibit these huge changes, right? It's going to, like, people are going to see it with you, right, in your environment. So a lot of people are going to gravitate to your energy. That's why it's really important now that you have it very clear in your mind where your boundaries lie, because everyone wants a piece of the light. You've got to understand that. And not everyone is ready to receive it yet, right? So because of this new, intense, really powerful, loving frequency that's coming in, this like, it's almost like a, a ray, like a really powerful ray of light and love just being like injected into the earth, right? Just absolutely blasting the earth. But not everyone is ready to receive that, right? It's almost like a transmission as well. You remember how they keep saying that they're getting these weird transmissions from space and they don't know where it's coming from? This is what it is. This is literally what it is. We have it here. They don't know what it is, but I'm telling you now, this is what it is. And some people are starting to receive that, right? So you're going through these changes. You're going through this huge shift. You're going through this glow up. Of course, you're going to experience some weirdness that comes with that, because it's like you have old cells that are dying and new cells that are forming, right? So it's always a bit rough when you go through that process. But when you come out the other side of that, you're going to be absolutely shining, right? You're going to be like a beacon of light. And so you're going to attract a lot of people, all sorts of people in different frequencies, right? With different intentions, different mindsets, different backgrounds. And they're all going to be coming towards you, right? Wanting a piece of what you have. That's where it's going to be really important that you define very clear boundaries, okay? Because like I said, it's not for those people to just come and take a chunk of you to fill themselves up. No, they need to do the work and they need to be open to that frequency so the divine can work on them as well in the way that they've worked on you. Right? And like I say, they need to do the work as well. So it's about being a source of inspiration, being positive, being caring, being open, but still having boundaries, okay? Not letting anyone just get in your auric field, right? No, okay? But you can still be kind, you can still be supportive, you can still be friendly, right? It's just, you know, you also have to protect yourself as well. Because like I said, a lot of people are going to want a piece of that light. Whew, I am warm because the energy coming off this is like powerful, you know. It doesn't help with the lights as well. But man, like I'm getting so warm and it's like so fuzzy, but a very pleasant energy as well. Yeah. But look at that. Birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. Yeah. So, wow, that's crazy. And like I said, awakening, right? Huge awakening taking place right now. Energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. So the divine is backing up absolutely everything that I've been saying. Everything I've said is here, okay? Everything I've been saying is here. So they're letting you know, like, hey, she's not talking out of her head. What she's saying is bang on, right? This is what's happening right now, collectively. There are huge awakenings taking place. Even like the people that have been really in the dark or really burying their head, they know now. Okay, they know. On some level, they know, whether they consciously know or they don't understand how they know, but they know. On some level, they know, and they're just like, what the hell, you know? Yeah. So that is happening in a significant way. Obviously, for those of us who've been on this journey for a while, it's just another level, right? We constantly go through these like changes and level ups, right? So it's just the next level. But obviously, with each integration, with each transformation, with each upgrade, with each glow up, with each sort of like, I guess, a form of ego death, it's like there is a new understanding to be had of oneself. It's like, oh, so this is who I am now, right? It's like you still understand who you are on a core level, although there's certain things that become more apparent to you about who you really are. But it's like, oh, so this is the newest expression of myself, right? So it's like how Source is also constantly awakening to its own experience and its own new forms through shared experience through us. Do you understand? So it's happening from the top to the bottom. Yeah. So it's pretty cool, huh? And look at this, under that. This is the last card I'm going to pull from this. I didn't even pull it. It was just there. But I feel like it's relevant. Anna, grandmother of Jesus. Seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. This is gorgeous. This is like crone energy in the highest vibration. This is the wisdom of the elders, right? Those who came before us, those who have laid the foundations for us to be able to do this work, right? Those who have transitioned and has chose to remain in the astral to guide us from above, to guide us from the higher planes, right? Yeah. And really supporting us in, like I say, birthing this new world, right? Birthing these changes that are happening here on this planet. Yeah. So it's like they're overseeing the work that we're doing here and supporting it as well. So that's your spirit guides in action. That's really beautiful. Oh my gosh, this reading. I love it already. It's so beautiful. Okay, let's keep going. Whew. So, on the angelic plane then, what's going on that level? Tell me what's happening on that level. So we have Duma, Angel of Dreams. Yeah, wow. Remiel, Angel of Visions. Sandalphon, Angel of New Life. Ooh, Guevara, Left Hand Judgment. And underneath that was sticking out was Renf, Angel of Time. Wow. So again, this is a card of creation, birth, rebirth. This is also twin energy, okay? We're not going to get into twin flame BS right now, okay? I don't want to get into that because, like I said, it's reached a point where I don't even like talking about it anymore. Not just because of the stupid cult that exists now around that, but because it's just been taken so far out of context. Like, I feel like it's lost its meaning. So we don't even talk about that anymore. But this is speaking on the aspects of self, right? Because that's what it comes down to. Self. And then that gets mirrored back in various environments and situations. And, you know, obviously connections with others. But this is about birth and rebirth, right? Endings and beginnings, okay? Creation. The strong energy of like, the creative force is very strong in the collective right now. So like I said, it's a good time to start forming your plans on whatever it is that you want to bring into fruition, right? especially because we are about to head into another Mercury retrograde. I can't remember what sign it's actually retrograding in, but I think that's from like the 13th or something like that. We're about to go into Mercury retrograde. It'll last until the new year, I think up until about the 1st, something like that. So now's not really the time to start like putting newness out there, but it's more about getting prepared, right? Getting the foundations down, laying the groundwork down, getting everything sorted, okay? Getting rid of anything that needs to be taken care of first so that we can focus on what it is that we want to build. So anything that's been, lingering, that needs to be organized, that needs to be removed, that needs to be like filed away, or whatever it is that needs to be done first, now's the time to do that, right? Yeah. So I feel like that is definitely the time that we're in. But with this combination here, it's like a reminder that this vision is already taking you a great distance, okay? And that which is part of your vision now, given everything you know now, given what it is that you want now, given what it is that you're aligned to now, it's like the path is still unwinding. The path is still unfolding. There is still so much to see. There's still so much to be experienced, right? But again, you're not doing it alone. Even if it seems like at times you are, you're not. Whether that's you're getting new support in the form of new forms of relationships that you build with others, whether that's simply from your guides, either way, you are not alone on this journey, right? And your vision will take you far. Absolutely. Yeah. And I feel like with, this is amazing. We have with Guevara's energy, Shakel's energy, Angel of Sky, and Malkuth, which represents the 3D plane, right? That which is brought into the 3D reality. It's like once you make a final decision of, I am not going back to old narratives. I'm not going back to old ways of doing things. I'm not going back to old situations that don't serve me. Like once you're very clear on what it is that you're not repeating, what it is that you're not staying stagnant to, what it is that you are awakening to, what it is that you are perceiving as your forward trajectory, as part of your future, right? Very much forward focus. That's when it's like essentially finalized in the ethers, right? Because as much as they could say this cycle is done and they bring it to a final end, right? You can in some ways drag it on just with your energy, just with, being reluctant to release the past, right? But when you yourself have come to a final decision on how you want to proceed forward, then it's like that gate isn't just shut. The key is also turned in it, right? So it's actually locked as well. Yeah, that's kind of the energy here. And so for me, when I see this card, this is confirmation for me that Source themselves is aware of this, right? Is aware of what we're actively choosing to do at this time. Like I said, they've been sort of taking a bit of a step back and watching, observing very closely, right? And so because people are choosing to keep moving forward, to stay true to the path, things can manifest in a 3D. Yeah. But ultimately, it comes down to your connection with the divine, your connection with the natural world, your own nature, you yourself, right? On every level. So as above, so below, your connection with source and your connection with self, right? Your connection with the ethers, your connection with the earth. All of that has to sync up. If it doesn't sync, these changes cannot be brought down into the physical plane. But it is syncing. In a lot of cases, with this being the main energies, it is happening. It is syncing. It is directly reflected. And so that's what's happening. There's a lot of fertile energy. There's a lot of creativity, you know, there's like a creative force, right? That's very prominent right now. It's very powerful, but it's also very prominent right now. There is a lot of like abundance. There's a lot of abundance, there's a lot of fertility, there's a lot of growth. There's a lot of possibility, right? Growth, regrowth, fruitfulness. These are the kinds of energies that are coming forward at this time. Yeah. And a lot of inner child healing taking place as well with Shaliglio, Angel of Snow. So this is gorgeous. It's funny because when I first shuffled and pulled the cards, I did see, I think it was it Cushiel? I think it was Cushiel's energy. Let me just check before I state that as fact. But I saw it wanting to poke out. So I just wanted to see why. Yeah, it was Cushiel. Oh, and Cushiel's energy was right next to Azrael. Yeah, Cushiel is angel of punishment, if you didn't know. And Azrael is an archangel of death. So, yeah. There's definitely endings and new beginnings. And it's like the divine is definitely playing its hand in situations where it needs to. You know, where certain things need to be handled, it's being handled. Let's just put it that way, right? Let's just put it that way. Like, they are not messing around. So, but they don't want you to focus on that. They just sort of put that in as a side note, like, hey, you know, where there's been like really significant injustice and, you know, it's taken to the point of no return, we're handling business. So it's like, okay, that's cool, you know, but they're like, but you don't have to worry about that. We're just letting you know. That's why it didn't come out. It just kind of poked out, right? So it's like, okay, cool. They were like, yeah. So don't be bitter. Don't be upset. Don't stress yourself about, you know, the injustices. Because yes, of course, you know, it is something that's going to affect you. But, you know, the most important thing is that you maintain your heart, your giving nature, the love that you have, which Chess said, empathy. This is very much like, you know, like, obviously empath energy, but it's more than that. For me, that's like, you know, real divine energy. Those who are willing to help others, those who are supportive, those who are kind, right? Who are friendly by nature, that are warm by nature. That's what they want you to focus on, maintaining this energy, protecting it, right? Cherishing it. Because that part of you is just so priceless. Yeah, it really is. Wow. Oh, this is so sweet. Okay, let's continue. So before we close the reading, let's get some, actually, let's get some of these, right? I haven't even used this deck in this reading yet. So let's get some of these cards on the go. Okay. So anything from the quantum that we need to be aware of? Any key themes or energies from the quantum? Your higher self in reverse. Discovery. Playing it safe. And then we have fragmented energy. Yeah, right now, as you're going through these huge changes, it's going to be a bit nuts, okay? I'm just going to say that, right? You may feel like you're being pulled in a lot of directions. Yeah. Emotionally, I feel like there's a lot that's going to be happening as well, right? You may feel like, you know, a lot is surfacing all at once. You're feeling everything all at once at times. But that's because of this huge, like, process that you're undergoing, right? And like I said, because you are finalizing certain cycles, you're closing the door on certain things, right? And certain things are taken, some things are being taken care of karmically, right, on your behalf. Even if you're not directly seeing what's going on or aware of what's going on, you're still feeling it, right? You feel it on a soul level, you still feel it on a heart level. So it's going to affect you emotionally, right? But it's okay. When that happens, just take some time to sit with yourself, right? and to ask where that's coming from, right? And I don't doubt that you'll get shown what it is, right? In some capacity, you'll get some kind of sign. It'll be different for everybody, but you'll get the knowledge on what exactly that is, okay? But that's the thing. I feel like a lot of us have been realizing that what we believed ourselves to be in terms of our higher self doesn't even scratch the surface. We're still uncovering things about ourselves, about our true worth. It's like my story. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I created a story where I was talking about how on the surface, people are starting to recognize you as a diamond, right? But you're actually much more than that. That beneath the surface, you're actually made of even more rare, tougher stuff. And that is rhenium, right? Rhenium is like one of the rarest materials in the world. It can only be found by extracting it from the Earth's crust. You have to dig that far to even get to it, right? So it's formed like under immense pressure in like the hottest of temperatures, in the most unsurvivable, right, of conditions, but it's formed. And it's so practical and it's so beneficial. It gets used in some very important things. Like you even find it in like aircraft parts and microwaves and phones and various other like electronic things, right? So it's like, it's really valuable. It's so valuable, right? But it's like, for it to be malleable, to be usable, it has to go through a whole process, and you have to even get to it first, right? So I feel like that's what a lot of us are realizing, like, wow, what we've been finding out over the past like several years, but especially over the last couple of years, is that we are made of stuff that we didn't even realize we were made of, right? And we're still discovering more about ourselves, okay? Like, you don't even know yet. You're just scraping the tip of the iceberg right now. So, but as you start to uncover this about yourself, and you start to learn this, you realize how you have been playing it safe, right? How you have not been allowing yourself to experience certain things based on old programming, based on, certain beliefs, okay, that you once had or was projected onto you, or, based on whatever case this may be, right? Whatever may be the cause of that, you're realizing that perhaps, you're selling yourself short. Perhaps you're not allowing yourself to live to your greatest potential, or allowing yourself to live to the fullest, because you are playing it too safe, because you don't want to take that risk. You don't want to take that leap. You don't want to, look foolish, or not be caught by the universe, or take the wrong path, right? I think for more than anyone, like for most people that resonate with this reading, it's probably more a case of that you're afraid of making the wrong decision. And I think that's what actually stops a lot of people from acting at all, is that fear of making the wrong decision and looking foolish, or feeling like they're a failure, or feeling like they didn't live up to, expectation, or, things backfired because they had made a choice. But it's like, you don't know until you try. Okay, that's the point, And if something's really not for you, you will get hammered with signs. You will. You will get absolutely hammered with signs, especially as someone who is continuously connecting with the divine. So there's no way you're not going to get the signs, okay? It's just whether or not you choose to listen. But ultimately, it is not the time to play it safe anymore. It is time to make those executive decisions, because that's where you are, okay? You are of that level. You have, spiritually risen to, the the rank of an executive. So like I said, you have the keys, right? It's up to you how you manage these things now, right? How you run your office, how you take care of business. It's up to you, okay? You have had sufficient enough training to be able to accept the position. So now that you've been given this position and you've accepted it, you have to carry out business, right? That's literally how it is. So yeah, amazing. Okay. So now we're going to get some tarot, and then we'll wrap up the reading. But I hope you guys are doing well, you know, and everything is, you know, pretty calm on your side, okay? Hopefully joyous, but definitely calm. I feel like that's what the collective needs more than anything, is those moments of peace, okay? Yeah. But hopefully this is making sense to you guys as well. But yeah, let's just keep going and see what else you need to know. World card, first card out, the World card. Four of Cups, Ten of Wands. Feel like that's that playing it safe energy because of the things you've already experienced, the weights you've been carrying. The Ace of Swords. Yep, you already know though. The Hierophant, Taurus energy. The Eight of Cups and the Two of Cups. Yeah, with the Devil at the bottom of the deck. This is about the comfort zone. This is just further going into that message. Yeah. It's like it's already done. What was done is done. It's done. It's finished. Those cycles, it's closed, done, complete, over. Okay? Like before, we were talking about how these cycles are ending, right? I'm telling you now, it's a case of because you've made a final decision, the door isn't just shut. The key has been turned. It's been locked. That is finished. Okay? So why be in an apathetic state? Why be down on your luck? Why feel sorry for yourself when the divine is literally putting you in the driver's seat? It's all a matter of perspective. And I understand when you're so used to carrying so many burdens, so much like heaviness, right? A heavy load, right? You've had to bear a lot for a long time, a lot of you. Even things that are not yours to carry, right? Baggage and burdens that are not yours to carry, you've carried it. But that time is over. You can drop the burdens now. You can drop the baggage now, right? Whatever you've been carrying in that suitcase of yours, you can literally empty it out. That's what the divine is telling you. But you know this already. You've already had the signs. You've already got direct communication, confirmation. Like, hey, it's okay. You can let all that go now. Because there's business to attend to with the Hierophant. You know, we've got work to do. I need to be able to trust that you are focused on the task at hand. We have got work to do. Like, you're my direct line. You're my channel, okay? So I need you focused on the task at hand. I need you ready. I need you prepared. I need you in the right energy. I need you to trust yourself. It's not about trusting me anymore. I know you trust me. You've demonstrated that you trust me. But I need to see that you trust yourself. Because we're in this together. This is not a one-way street. No. You've left behind those connections where it's been one-sided, as I guided you to, because it was not of your highest good. It was holding you back from realizing your true potential and your true mission here. And I'm so proud that you were able to do that, even when it was tough for you to do so, right? Even if it meant walking away from everything you ever knew, those people that you've always had around or you've always been a part of, right? But you did it because you knew it was the right thing to do, because I gave you the sign. I gave you the message, right? And this is source, not me. I gave you the sign. I gave you the message. I showed you what you needed to do, right? I showed you what you needed to know. And you took the action, right? You followed the guidance. So now here we are, unified, ready to get down to business, right? Ready to really, truly solidify our connection. And what did we see in that previous deck? Connection. It was literally, it was in the Angelarium. Let me show you. I'll find it real quick. Here we go. Yes, sir. Root, connection. Yep. That's what Source is telling you. This is our time now. Whether you're in a relationship or not, whether you have family support or not, doesn't matter. You have me. We are co-creating right now. It's time. So to be getting a message like this, look what you overcame. Look what you overcame. All of this. 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 I can keep going. All of this, right? To get to this. You overcame the devil energies, the heartbreak with the 3 of swords and the betrayals and the backstabbing. You overcame the trials, the tribulations, the conflict, the drama, right? The competition, the fights. You made the sacrifices that you needed to make, right? You surrendered when you needed to. You let go of what you needed to let go, right? You moved forward, even not knowing where you was going to end up, if you were even being guided anymore. If anything was even making sense anymore, you kept going, even when it was at its darkest. You were facing your darkest moments. You kept going. Even when people were attacking you left, right, and center, trying to ruin you, trying to ruin your name, trying to break you down, right? Where you didn't even know where half of these attacks were coming from, right? Being put in situations that really pushed you to your limits on a mental level. The mental attacks, psychological warfare, narcissistic abuse. Yeah. Having your mental attacks, having your, people attempting to block your spiritual abilities, right? To stop your connection with source, to stop you receiving what you needed to receive, right? Trying to put you in a mental prison, possibly even trying to put you in a physical prison, trying to have you living your worst life, your worst nightmare, okay? Being in a state of fear, paranoia, stress, depression, anxiety, not knowing where the next attack is going to come from, not knowing what's going to happen to you, right? Not knowing if there was going to be a way out. You went through all of that to get to where you are right now. 9 of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles. This was a hard-won battle. This was a hard-won milestone that you have reached, okay? 9 of Pentacles. After all of this, do you know what kind of person it takes to get to 9 of Pentacles after dealing with all of this? It takes the people that are in my collective, okay? It does. It takes the kind of people that are in my collective to be able to do that. Yeah. And come out with the 9 of Pentacles energy after going through literally the worst of it. And the only reason the 10 of Swords didn't come out is because you are not finished. You are not finished. Even when you've been through 10 of Swords situations, you still got back up. You still dusted yourself off. You wiped your tears, okay? You cleaned your wounds and you got back at it. Yes, absolutely. It was hard won with the Knight of Pentacles. You took it step by step, day by day. You didn't give up, no matter how hard it got, no matter how trying it was, no matter how tired you was, no matter how soul tired you were, right? No matter how much you were taking hits from various directions, right? It wasn't enough to stop you. It wasn't enough to break you, because you're made of tougher stuff than that. And you did have divine protection. Like I said, they weren't going to shield you from everything, because how will you train that way? How will you, build resilience, build your strength, know what to look out for if they put you in bubble wrap? They can't do that. And that's the problem. I feel like a lot of people assume that the divine is going to put you in bubble wrap, or they're supposed to put you in bubble wrap. Like, oh, as long as I have a connection with the divine, then I'm going to be in bubble wrap. It doesn't work that way. That doesn't serve you if they were to do that, right? Because in that one moment when they have to pull back for a minute and then something happens, what are you going to do? You're not going to be equipped. And again, it's all about the soul's evolution. It's all about reaching certain understandings, enlightenment, wisdom. How are you going to do that without experience? So yes, there was a level of protection there, but you also had to experience certain things, right? In order to have the wisdom, the understanding, and know how to apply certain things accordingly, right? From having those experiences, yeah. 3 of Pentacles, but look at this. New foundations forming, new groups, teams, right? Communities, support groups. Yeah, working together, building together. This is the time. This is the time. Hot mess, you're amazing. I don't even know what to say. I really appreciate that. I didn't expect that super chat, especially when you already sent me a super chat in the past. No, thank you so much. Like, it means everything. It really does. And I love that you've been a part of this this live, because I know this message resonates for you, and I know you are part of this group. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. Who is this? Okay, well, we'll just ignore that comment. Yeah. But the point is, right, after going through all of that, look at how much is shifting. Look at how much is transforming for the better, right? The fact that, like I said, after going through all of this, you are coming out in 9 of Pentacles energy. You know, that's like the most abundant energy you can be single-handedly. Shining. Yeah. And look what you're going to go on to do. Forming new alliances, new connections. Yeah. Oh, who is this person? Yeah, I'll have to block them, I think, because I'm not having any low vibrational shit on this channel. So yeah, anyone that wants to like send low vibrational messages, keep it to yourself, because you will just get blocked. You are not part of this community, obviously. But anyway, yeah. So that's essentially what I'm seeing, you know. I feel like over so much time, you've learned so much with the Queen of Swords, right? The Strength card, the Page of Wands. It's like, instead of looking at everything like, okay, this is just, you know, getting too hard, maybe I should give up, or, you know, things are not working the way I expected, or because I didn't get like my way in a certain situation, then, you know, what's the point? No, it's like you're constantly asking questions. You're always like analyzing things, right? Always taking the good and the bad, right? Taking the lessons from it, right? As well as the blessings, yeah. And you're showing great resilience, I'm telling you, right? Great resilience. Yeah. But that's the thing. That's why you're going to attract people into your life that are of the same energy. And like I said, right, about protecting your auric field, that's going to be really important. I just had some haters spill some bullshit on here. You can't see it because it gets flagged, right? But it's like, I choose what energy, right, I embrace. And I get to choose what energy, you know, I want to share with you guys. If it's something toxic and low vibrational, that's getting removed, you know, because I don't want it in my auric field. I don't want it in or around my energy. I don't want it around my collective. It doesn't serve anyone, right? Especially gaslighting bullshit like that, you know? So, and I feel like that's kind of the point that a lot of you guys are reaching. Like, you're deciding what you're allowing into your reality, into your space, and what you're not, right? What you're entertaining and what you won't entertain. You're like, I don't have to be a part of that. I don't have to have that around me, you know, not especially when I'm focused on trying to usher in the new and I'm becoming this new version of myself. I don't have to pay, you know, low vibrational things any mind. I don't have to give it any of my energy, you know. So, whew, powerful. But I'm telling you, you're in the driver's seat, collective. It really is up to you. So, wow, that was a really powerful but awesome reading. Like, wow, the messages that came through, absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. And like I say, it just goes to show how much work you've poured into yourself. It just shows that you are ready. Like, you have demonstrated that you are ready to receive those blessings. You're ready to receive not only just opportunities, but it's like it's a big deal. Like, you're in an important position here, right? You're literally shaping your reality. It affects more than just yourself, right? So with like, it comes with a great deal of responsibility. Like, great power comes with great responsibility. That's the energy, right? So it is really important, like I say, to be very intentional. I said that in a previous reading, actually. I can't remember which one it was, but it was one of the ones that went up this week. But I was saying that what you give your energy to, it may not even premiered yet. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But in one of the readings that goes out this week, I mentioned how it's important to be so intentional with your energy, right? And what you give time, energy, focus to, right? What you have around you, what you invest in, what you bring towards you, what you have within you, what you share as well. Like, all of that matters, especially going into the energies we're going into and into the timeline and the cycles we're entering. So yeah, it all matters is what I want to say. So yeah, and that's why, honestly, I just feel like, it's just that time, it really is. And that's why I try to be as honest and open and direct about these things as I can, and clear. I never want to say things that sound like, oh, you have to do it this way, or be really brash, or, be triggering to anyone. But it doesn't serve me if I don't tell you what I'm seeing exactly as I'm seeing it, or what I'm feeling, or what I'm picking up energetically, right? So it's like, it seemed like, I think that person, to be honest, they were triggered by what I said, because clearly they were not at that point in their healing journey where they could hear, like, wow, I've been through a lot, but I made it. So clearly this message does not apply to them. They need to continue doing the work, and that's not my problem. I'm sorry, but it's not. Like, I can't sugarcoat things, and I can't baby you guys. It doesn't just, it doesn't serve you. Just like I don't want that from others as well, right? So it's a case of just being honest and open with the energy that I'm getting and what I'm seeing, and that's what I'm doing, And I know you guys get it anyway, you guys are not like made of glass by any means. Because like I said, you wouldn't be here if you were, right? Yeah. And you know the difference between, something that's trying to get under your skin and something which just fact. Like, hey, no, that's something to own. Like, you're frigging strong, man. You are strong, and even when you have moments where you may not feel strong, that's okay. We all do. Everyone does, right? But that doesn't take away that you have come out the other side. So own that shit. That's what I want to say. Own it, And like I said, like, you've been given the keys for a reason. So just use them wisely. That's all I would say. Okay. So yeah, so powerful. Thank you so much for sharing your gifts, doing the work. You're welcome, and it's honestly, for me, it's a blessing to be able to do that, because, if it was just for myself, then I can just do this off camera, right? And I do, of course, I, look into things for myself so I can do the work, and, whatever I need to hear, I can get that as well. But, it's really an honor to be able to bring these messages to you guys as well, and be able to support your journey. Like, I get so much fulfillment knowing that I'm helping you guys as well as myself, because this stuff applies to me too, like, I'm not just someone sitting here like, oh yes, go and do the work, and then I'm just sat there doing nothing. No, it applies to me as well. So there's certain things that come up that I also take on board, and I think, okay, yeah, I want to make that the priority, or I need to remind myself of that at times as well, because at the end of the day, we're all on this journey together. We're all having to do this work, we're all learning lessons, we're all evolving, so it's just nice. It's just such a privilege to be able to be on this journey with you as well, and yeah, I don't take it for granted, not at all. So I just want to say thank you so much to every single person that watches this, that is watching this, that has been watching it, because I know people come in and out and that's okay, but it does mean a great deal. And, you know, I hope that you got something out of this message. Even if it's just one thing that really strikes a chord, then, you know, it's fulfilled its purpose. But the main thing is knowing that, the main thing is to know that you have arrived. That's pretty much the energy, like you're here. And now things are going to start happening for you, right? I'm telling you, you're going to start seeing things happen for you. It is your time, okay? You are in the driver's seat. Don't let anyone convince you that you're not, okay? Especially when you're getting back-to-back signs from the universe that you are. Yeah, you know your circumstances, you know what you're witnessing, right? So only you yourself can truly determine that. But yeah, I'm just so proud of every single one of you. I'm proud of all of us because it ain't been easy, right? But we're here. And this is just the beginning. Like I always say, you know, there's so much more to do. There's so much to accomplish, right? There's so much to share, to laugh about, you know. And yeah, it just feels like, you know, it's funny as well because it was raining all day and now silence, you know? So it's like that catharsis is being released. And now it's just a time of taking that breath and being like, okay, I'm ready, you know? Like I said, I'm ready to step forward. So amazing. Thank you all again so much for watching this reading. If you did find it useful, if you got any benefit from this message, please make sure you hit the thumbs up, drop a comment, feel free to share your thoughts. Of course, if anyone is disrespectful, you'll just get removed. I'm not even about that. But yeah, feel free to express yourself, you know, that's the point. But just, you know, just be polite, you know, ideally. Subscribe if you haven't already. Click the notifications bell and click all so you don't miss any of your upcoming readings. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next live for sure. I'm not sure what that's going to be about yet, but I'm sure I'll be made aware of that. But there'll definitely be more lives before the end of the year. I will have to check the dates of Christmas as such to see how I'm going to work it, because it may depend on, you know, the dates that they fall on, you know, like Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, that sort of thing. So, but I'll let you guys know in advance anyway if there are any changes to the weekly schedule, as I always do. But for now, you take care of yourself. Have an amazing day or evening wherever you are. Okay. Love you guys. Be safe. And I will speak to you soon. Bye.